Gordon L. from Melbourne writes, Dear Jürgen, would you like to do a PhD in geology at Monash University in Melbourne? Your field area will be on the planet Venus. Are you good in math? Well, this is a real letter actually, but it's from 1991. And I was not good at math and I never went to Melbourne and I ended up in Canada. But today we're talking about a company from Melbourne, and it's Burson Audio. They actually were established in 2001, and they initially specialized on amplifier parts such as Opamps. But they later went into amplifiers, and that's what we're talking about today, the Burson Funk. This is a $744 package that comes with the amp, with the cool stand, and with a couple of Opamps, the V6 Vivid, which retail individually. Let's have a look first at the actual amp. Let's just take it off the stand. And what we see here is the shape. It's kind of a square box with rounded corner. It looks very much like German Bauhaus design of the 1920s, so it's a bit of a futuristic retro, which I like very much. It comes with Allen key, so you can actually remove the screws and you can take the lid off. And what you see here is this rich and groove structure, which you also see here at the cool stand. And it's called cool stand because it's a heatsink. Very nice. So what does this amplifier actually do? It does two things. First of all, it drives headphones and earphones. And it's got an output impedance of smaller than 2 ohms. So it's also good for sensitive IEMs, as well as for really hard to drive full-sized cans. It is also a speaker amp, a loudspeaker amp, yeah. Talk about this later. And you can plug in these op-amps. I'll talk about the op-amps later. It's got a low noise power supply, and it has a microphone bypass for gamers, so gamers can use that amp, and the microphone sound goes right through the amp. So what we have here, we've got this volume knob, which is actually has got quite a nice resistance. It's really it's precision. It's really nice to operate. So here we have the on-off switch. We have we can switch now between headphone amp and speaker amp, and here we've got a gain button, high gain, low gain, depending on what you plug in there. And there is a little LED somewhere, which I don't see now. It's down here, and this little LED is a little blue LED, and it's very unintrusive. Then here we've got a 6.3 millimeter headphone socket and a 3.5 millimeter headphone socket. So this is mainly for headphones and mainly for earphones. When we turn this around, we have here your RCA inputs, and here is the microphone bypass. You can also put this adapter in, which is in the box, which separates here the headphones from the microphone, but you can just put attach a gaming headset with a microphone. And you have here is here you put in the power supply, and here that's for your speaker cables. Amplification of this amp is pretty powerful. First of all, so the headphone amp is a pure class A. It delivers 3.5 watts at 16 ohm, 2.5 watts at 32 ohms. 32 ohms is kind of the average of IEMs, and still a healthy 150 milliwatts at 300 ohm. When you connect loudspeakers here, it has 45 watts at 4 ohm speakers, and I ran them at 8 ohm speakers, and that's still 35 watts, still very, very generous. So Burson includes a power supply it's a maximum current power supply, switching power supply, and it minimizes noise riding on the power line, so that you have a clearer sound. Then we have op amps. Let me just open this up, and what you see here is these red things. Here's another one. You just plug them in, and op amps are the building blocks of analog electric circuits. They are good for sound optimization and customization. So you can plug in different op amps. This is another op amp. This is the V6 Vivid that Burson. You can use any brand, and this is the headphone op amp, and this is the speaker op amp. So you can actually put different op amps in there, and you have different sounds. And finally, don't want to make this too long. Finally, we come to sound. This is the most important thing. And of course, I tested these with headphones, and I tested this amp with loudspeakers. And you can read the details, the test setups on the website. But the sound, let's just go first to the headphone sound. It is a natural sound, a slightly warm sound. It's a bit of a tone color. I really like the mid-range. The mid-range is full. The vocals are not placed too far back and not too intimate. They are just where they should be. They have a good weight. There's a good treble extension. There's nothing sterile. It is just nothing analytical. It's just how you want it. And I recently had bought the Topping L30, which many YouTubers hail as the very best, one of the best hi-fi or headphone amps around. And I found it terrible. It was lean, it was sterile, it was analytical. This one has soul. This amp has soul. And with loudspeakers, I used, they're designed for near-field loudspeakers, like loudspeakers you have on your desk. But I think 2 times 45 watts is overkill on your desk. It blows you away. And I don't really have a desk setup, so I just plugged them into my stereo, and I replaced the big dedicated Luxman L410 stereo amplifier with this one. And of course this doesn't have the oomph, it doesn't have the sheer power, it doesn't have the body, and it doesn't have the note weight. The Luxman just sounds thicker, it's stronger, but it has great transparency, it's got a great depth, a great three-dimensionality, it's got a crisp attack, and it's got a detailed resolution. So it may not do it in the long run with these huge loudspeakers for Metallica, but it was excellent for Johann Sebastian Bach, Brandenburg's concertos. It was just a pleasure, and I listened to 6 of them on this amp without wanting to switch it off. So when I want to summarize here, I think the good thing about this Burson amp, it's got a robust organic sound. It's really versatile in that you can use it for loudspeakers, headphones, and even sensitive IEMs. It's got a low output impedance, so that again makes it good for current hungry IEMs. It's got a really good design, and it's got a great power supply. And that's all I want to say. If you like this video, just, you know what you do, just subscribe, push the like button. And that's it from me, from Calgary. That's it from Dr. Schweinsgruber. Auf Wiedersehen.